Joining me in person is Inna Sovsun, a member of the Ukrainian parliament. She's the deputy chair of Ukraine's Holos political party, which is an opposition party in parliament. We have spent so many days talking over the last month. I'm pleased to finally meet you. I'm sorry, I forget you're from Ukraine. I don't have a wind problem here, but it's a windy day. It is such tragedy we are discussing this morning. You heard Richard Engel talking not just about the bodies around Kyiv that have been discovered overnight, but about rape. You have been seeing a lot of reports from people about seeing their parents' dead bodies, seeing the naked bodies of women on the street. These are war crimes.
Indeed they are. And it seems like it cannot get any worse, but with every single piece of news that I'm reading from Irpin, from Bucha, from the road to the west, it's only getting worse. Like half an hour ago, I read the statement by the mayor of Irpin, who said that the Russians just opened fire on girls and women, and when they fell down, they started driving on tanks over their dead bodies. Those are just sick people. I'm sorry to say that they're just sick. They need to be prosecuted, and justice needs to be done to the victims one way or another. Because what has happened there is just, I don't think we imagined that was actually taking place. I mean, we knew it was bad. It was so much worse than we expected that to see, and it's just so painful. Yeah.
Yesterday there was. The mayor of Bucha was talking 2 days ago, talking about the fact that we've got the city back, and I don't think we understood the full extent of it. They started then looking in the streets and realizing that there were civilian bodies lying in the streets, hundreds of them.
So many, and you can see that many of them have their hands tied behind their backs, so that means they just captured them and they shot into their heads, just like Nazis did. That is precisely what they're doing. This is a Nazi state. They've been shooting at civilians. Now, when it's all over, I can tell you something I didn't reveal before. You remember Makariv?
Yes.
My parents are from Makariv area. So they were they were not there at the time that was taking place, but they know some of the people from the villages where the Russians have actually been in there. And they know that the leaders of one of the villages has been killed with her husband and her son. And one of the pictures we have seen was from the leaders of one of the villages, which is like one village away from my parents' place. It's just unimaginable that this is actually taking place somewhere where I used to drive like every second week going to my parents' place. It's unimaginable that this has actually been taking place. And I think after what we have seen, the world cannot keep quiet. We cannot pretend this didn't happen. We cannot pretend that more sanctions will do the job. What we have to do is to ask for Russia to be kicked out of the UN totally. It has no way to stay in the Security Council after this has happened. It needs to be like full embargo on NATO gas, anything. Like we cannot continue funding this. No one can keep on sending money to Russia, and yeah, weapons to protect ourselves, because we can imagine that the same things can be happening in other occupied areas on the south, on the east. This is the same that they will be doing there as well, and we probably just don't know the whole extent to what is happening there right now.
We spoke to the Russian foreign minister, former Russian foreign minister Andrei Kozyrev this morning. I spoke to the former president of Estonia, Tumas Ilves, this morning, and they both said the same thing. They said that the West is rightfully fearful of the nuclear threat, that Vladimir Putin keeps talking about his nuclear weaponry. But we have never seen a situation in which a nuclear arsenal has been used as a defense or a threat for conquest. How should we think about this? How should my viewers think about this? Because they worry that if NATO gets more involved, if the U.S. gets more involved, Vladimir Putin will push a button and create World War III.
Well, then the viewers should realize that the people are being killed right now, real people. You look at the people at the borders lying there, and I was struck with, one of the images, the person had the sneakers just the same as I did. And I was thinking, like, this is the same person as myself. And we need to remember that those are real people, just like ourselves, like me and you and everyone else watching this. And they have suffered through terrible rape, torture, everything. We need to react to that. Otherwise, we as humanity do not, what is it all worth? We need to be protecting each other. And yes, nuclear is terrifying. I believe, like everyone being here in Ukraine is so scared of that. But how many more people need to be killed before we actually say, okay, that is enough? 300 people killed in one bomb blast in Mariupol. 300 people. Like, what is worse than that? Why is 300 people potentially killed in a chemical attack are worse, and then the West say that then we will react? 300 people killed in Mariupol in one single blast, and thousands more, just during the time of siege. Like, the West needs to react. The whole world needs to react, because it just this is happening. This is the tragedy that is taking place, and just keeping quiet about that is not going to do the job. Otherwise, he'll keep on killing until he gets to whatever he wants.
Your family is from the East. Your son is in the West because you're trying to keep him safe.
Literally in the room nearby.
Martin is here?
Yeah, he's here.
Because you insist that he does his homework.
Exactly.
And you are in Kyiv most of the time. Your boyfriend is in somewhere. He's somewhere. How are you? Well, you and I talk sometimes nightly. It's 4 a.m. Do you sleep? How do you manage this?
I feel constantly tired. Like, I feel like I can fall asleep right away. The moment I go to bed, I cannot fall asleep for 2-3 hours. I literally get to sleep like 3 hours a night, and I can't. I wake up and then I cannot go back to sleep anymore because I keep on reading news, or frankly, I've been thinking about those images that we have seen. For the last 2 days, I'm going to bed and I'm thinking about those women that we saw the naked bodies of. They were naked and then they were shot and then they were burnt. I can imagine what has been happening to them before they were actually dead, and I think that is just terrifying. And I keep on thinking about that in my head, and I cannot get those images out of my head. Yeah, we're all terrified, and I think people have been asking me for the 24 hours, are you happy that Kyiv region is free of Russians right now? And I realized that I don't feel happy. It feels empty. It feels like... Yeah. It doesn't feel like a relief at all, just because of the images we have seen. We didn't, pay even attention to the fact that they have finally been gone. It was quiet in Kyiv for the last 2 days. That is true. I just got back here to the West yesterday night. But it was quiet, but we didn't feel relief, just because we were all like, your brain freezes when you see those images, and you can't accept that, but you also have to, and you have to react, and you have to talk to the world. That the world needs to react to what is happening. Yeah, so it's just mind-numbing. That's it.
Thank you for the time that you take to spend with us. Thank you for getting this message out, and thank you for all that you are doing.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to finally meet you in person.
Yeah.
We will speak many times, unfortunately. And maybe we will speak in good times.
So much hope so. Thank you.
Inna Savcyn is a member of the Ukrainian parliament.